I'm going to say this, and then I ain't going to say nothing else. You want something to grow. You want something to flourish. You want something to come to fruition. You want to build on something. You want something to get stronger, right? Okay. All right. I'm going to tell you how. And I think I've told you how before, but sometimes you got to do things a different way, say things a different way in order for it to stick. So hopefully this time it'll stick for you and for me, because I'm teaching myself something too. When I teach you all, I'm teaching myself. When God gives it to me, I give it to you. Okay. Anything you want to grow on down to a plant, okay? Anything you want to see come to fruition, okay? Anything you want to be stronger, all right? You have to do one thing. One thing. One. In order to see that thing grow, flourish, come to fruition, be stronger or get stronger, one thing you have to do, baby. One word. Consistent. Let me give you an example. So you want to build a house, okay? Got your land. You done set your date for when you want the house to be done, so you can move you and your family in there. And you go ahead, you done cleared the land and you done perked the land and everything. And I mean, you ready, right? So you go, you got your bricks, you got your mortar, okay? So you got your cement, because you got to lay your cement in between the bricks. So I mean, you gun ho, you ready, you already got your design for your house, right? So here you go, you ready to lay the foundation. Huh? So you go and you get your bricks and you get your mortar and you got your cement, and I mean you whistling, you listening to music while you doing it, and I mean all child, you getting down and you lay one layer of your foundation for your house, right? And you don't lay another layer for weeks. You walk away, you were happy with it the way it's, you lay one layer and you didn't lay any more layers for weeks. Now here you come back about 4, 5, 6 weeks later, and you a little upset because the layer that you laid, it's not the same. Okay? The weather done hit it. It rained. It might have snowed. It might have sleeted. Leaves all over the place. So you got to clean up all that. Get all of the changes that took place. The pets came around and peed on it and you know did the business on it and all this kind of stuff. Now you got to clean up that one layer. You couldn't just come back and go ahead and with your bricks in your mortar and start on your second layer. You had to clean up around the area because you were gone for a while. Huh? And you had built up that one layer, but you were gone for a while. Okay, so you had to clean it up because you're not gonna find it the way you left it. Not that one layer. You're not gonna find it the way you left it. Period. Because you weren't what? Consistent. All right. Well, you say, you know what? So you go ahead and you cleaned up your area because you didn't find it the way you left it because you were gone too long. You weren't consistent, and on top of that, you lost time. So your house is you're not gonna finish the house on a date that you had planned on finishing the house because one more time you were not consistent. So now you got to lay. Now you ready after you done cleaned up. You ready to lay your second layer. You lay your second layer. Boom, you got your second layer. Now you got 2 layers. Okay? You come back the next day, you lay a third layer. Consistent. Now you got 3 layers. You come back the next day, you lay your 4th layer. You consistent. Now you got 4 layers, okay? Because the weather didn't stop you, nothing stopped you, which is the only thing that should stop you if you're trying to build something and grow. And that is, if you're doing it outside, the weather might stop you. If you're doing it on the inside, or something you have to do on the inside, an emergency might stop you. But life is going to stop us sometimes when we're trying to build something. However, as soon as you deal with that thing, that issue in life, you get right back to it. You're still consistent. You're not off track because you wanted to do it. You couldn't do it because of circumstances and situations that were beyond your control. Okay? Stay with me. All right. So you got these 4 layers that you done built. You're happy about it. You know you got a new date for your house to be finished, but you had to go ahead and you went on and set that date because you weren't consistent. And you weren't consistent. You just weren't consistent because you were distracted by certain things. Okay? But anyway, all right, cool. All right. But here it is. You got 4 layers, and here it is now. You done laid back again. You're procrastinating again. So you now you're gone for 5 weeks, but you still got them 4 layers that you laid. Okay. Still, when you come back after that 5th week, that you did not stay consistent. When you come back after that 5th week, the good news is that you still have 4 layers. Okay. It's still not going to be the same the way you left it. Why? Because, you got brush done came up, pets done fooled around on it, the weather, things like that. So, and on top of that, your date to have it complete is pushed back again. Okay, so now you got to clean up all the brush again, and you got to do all the things that you had to do when you only had that 1 layer because you were not consistent. Let me tell you something. Now, let me say this part too with the consistency. All right, with those 4 layers, okay? Because you weren't consistent, of course you lost the time frame the new time frame that you had planned on finishing everything, okay? So you lost that time, all right? And you probably were distracted. You let things distract you, things that were not important, things that should not have distracted you. And you let that happen. And now here you're finding yourself having to come back and build that and finish, and start back. Even though you had them 4 layers, and let's use this in the social media realm, because that's basically what I'm talking about anyway. Okay, so you've been gone for a while. You have built up some subscribers, you have built up some followers, you have built up some people that were really listening to what you had to say or watching your videos, whatever your platform is all about. You were building. You had 4 layers, and you had people that were actually watching, listening, supporting, subscribing, and all of that, but you fell off. Let me tell you something about consistency. It's not about being good or bad. It's about being reliable. People being able to rely on you. Any and everything it is that you choose to do, whether it's motivate, whether it's teaching something, whether it's you have a skill that you are trying to share, whether it's a story that you're trying to share, anything that everybody goes through something. There's so many people out here, that's going through something that you're going through, that want to hear something that you got to say, that believe in something that you believe in. So if you want that thing to grow, if you want, whether it's a relationship, whether it's marriage, whether it's a business, it doesn't matter, social media, whatever it is that you want to see grow, there's one thing and one thing only, aside from the other little things that you need to do, aside from the postings and making sure you communicate and make sure whatever the situation is, whether it's love, social media, whatever. If you're trying to make it grow, baby, the one thing you got to do above all else is to what? Be consistent. You just got to be consistent, because consistency equals what? Reliability. That means people know that they can count on you for what they need. They can count on you that if you say you're going to finish that house by a certain time, they can count on you that it will be done. Unless life happens, because we all know life is going to happen. But if you want to see that thing come, because you had it here, and if you want to hold it here, you got to do one thing. And that one thing, my dear, is to be consistent. Have an amazing day.